Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another exciting review. Today I have this 2002 Acura RSX Type S. We'll do a walk around on the vehicle, I'll show you the interior, and we'll talk over the specs in more detail. So starting off, this is a hatchback. Just looking at it, it has this wedge shape. You would think that it's a coupe, but the hatchback does offer a lot of versatility with this vehicle. It's currently sitting on the stock 5-spoke alloy rims from the factory. Now this does have a few aftermarket modifications, namely this little portion here of the taillight. This has been tinted red. Typically it is yellow. Furthermore, the badges have been plasti dipped black as opposed to the typical silver color, and it does have an aftermarket exhaust. Now just doing a full walk around here, and you can see that the car does look pretty good. It looks awesome for a 17-year-old car, and it has aged really well. Moving along to the front, it does have those kind of blob-like looking headlights, but nonetheless it still looks good in my opinion. Now moving along to the interior, this is a key for those of you wondering. You click unlock once, that opens the driver's side, twice opens all the doors and the hatch. We come on in, and immediately you're greeted with this great interior, full leather interior with the 3-spoke steering wheel. So that's pretty nice. It's all laid out in a very ergonomical way. Everything is easy to reach. It does actually have quite a bit of features for a vehicle from this model year. So we'll fire it up and I'll walk you through everything here on the interior. Clutch to the ground, and comes right into life. So as I mentioned, everything is in an easy to reach area. You know, all the climate control buttons are here. Sunroof and cruise control are down here. So what's so special about this car? Why did I choose to review this specific vehicle? This is Acura, or this was Acura's pocket rocket back when they announced it in 2002. It does have a 2.0 liter 4-cylinder engine. It has 200 horsepower and 142 pound-feet of torque. Now that may not sound like a lot by today's, crazy supercar numbers, but the exciting part about this vehicle is it actually revs to 7,800 RPM. So what this means is it's a lot of fun, especially when you couple that with the fact that it's running V-tec. You will have a smile from ear to ear anytime you drive this vehicle, and you won't get into too much trouble with the law. Now, I do want to apologize, it is raining outside, but with this channel we do aim and strive to provide you guys with content, rain or shine. Alright, so let's begin with the features here on the door handles. So on the door panels, you don't have much going on here. You have auto down and up for the driver's side window, and then you can control the passenger side window. This is to lock the windows if you want to be cruel to your passenger, and then this is the door lock and unlock. Over here, as I mentioned, you have the cruise control features. This, funnily enough, is for the sunroof. So it's kind of the first time I see a sunroof button placed to the left of the steering wheel. Usually it'd be just up here in this area, but nonetheless, this is for the sunroof. It is not one touch. You have to hold it to open it all the way, and then you have to hold it to close all the way back. This is heated mirrors, and then here you have your mirror controls. You have power mirrors, so that's for the right and that's for the left. You just switch between the two. Moving along here, as mentioned, this is the climate control area, if you want to call it that. This controls how much air you want, if you want hot or cold, and where you want the air to come from, essentially. And it's all laid out pretty nice. This all does have a premium feel to it. You just turn these knobs and you can control everything like that. It does actually have auto climate control, which is a great feature for a vehicle, especially one from 2002. And then down here you have your hazards. You would just hit that and you'd get your hazard lights. Now this is also an aftermarket deck. Usually you would get a unit that kind of expands this whole outline. But as with most older vehicles, people do opt to switch them out for these heads. With that being said, this is great because you can just connect straight to your iPhone or whatever device you have and play your tunes from there. Now, just looking down here, there isn't an armrest. I know that's very controversial. A lot of people, would prefer to have an armrest and maybe would not consider this vehicle if they're doing long journeys or big commutes and things like that. But I think you get used to it. It's not really that big of a deal. And if you really, really needed to have an armrest, there actually are some aftermarket providers of armrests, so you can Google that if that's something you're into. Down here, you have these two buttons. These are actually for heated seats. This is for the driver's and this is for the passenger side, and then you have one of these sockets so you can plug in a car charger, things like that. Now, this is a feature that I particularly like. Over here, you have these two buttons. One says cup and one says tray. You open the one that says cup, push the button in, and you get two cup holders. That's great. That's, nothing special, nothing exciting. But if you click this one that says tray, in this same area, you get this little tray. It's a little compartment where you can store things, and I think that's pretty cool. That's a fun and neat feature to have. In terms of storage, both doors have these little pockets here. So actually, they're bigger pockets, and you can store a map if you're from the 70s, or you can store other larger items. And then you actually have these little pockets here, which interestingly enough I don't actually use, but that's something you have. That's why actually I do also like this little compartment here. This is aftermarket. Again, it came with the deck, so you can just kind of toss things here, your phone or whatever have you. And then the last little compartment is this. Now, moving along to the glove box, it is decently sized. As you can see, I have quite a bit of stuff in there. You can fit a lot of things, and you don't really have to worry. So storage isn't a huge concern. E-brake here, which is nice and awesome. Another cup holder here if you need that. So altogether, for the front two passengers, you have 3 cup holders. Now, one thing I actually forgot to mention is the hood release. So in this vehicle, the hood release would be right here on the driver's side. Using your left arm, just extend it, pull that towards you, that pops the hood, and you can take a look there. If you want to pop the fuel cap door, you actually just pull that little lever up towards you, and your gas cap will be popped. Coming around to the passenger side of the vehicle, I do want to point out how cool these seats look. They have these awesome look to them, these bucket race boy type seats. So I think that's pretty cool. They do hold you in place, but given that it is a sports tuned suspension in this vehicle, the ride may be a little bit stiff if you're doing prolonged journeys. Nonetheless, the rear legroom is actually not too bad. To get into the rear of this vehicle, you actually just pull this little lever here. The whole seat pushes forward and slides forward. You jump in. And you pull the seat back towards you. Now, I personally am over 6 feet tall, and back here, it's actually not too bad. It's decent, The front passenger would be comfortable. The rear passenger would be comfortable as well. My knees are touching the seat here in front of me, but again, it's not like I'm uncomfortable. I've been in bigger cars with a lot less rear passenger space, let's put it that way. Back here, it's actually kind of funny because it is a 4-seater, not a typical 5-seater. In the middle here, it's not a seat. You just have this little cubby, so it's just like a little pocket to put things in, and you have cup holders here and a little speaker there for music. So all in all, you have 4 seats for 4 passengers, but you have 5 cup holders. So that's very interesting, and I know that's something Doug DeMira would be very excited about. To get out from the back here, there's actually this little metal tab. You just click it with your foot. The whole seat reclines forward, and then you're out. And just like that, we're out. So that's very exciting. Nothing, this car can do, really, if you're in the market for a car that's a reliable daily commuter, but also does offer a lot of versatility. This car does have quite a bit of features, and again, it does have that sunroof and Just wanted to point that out. Now with the hatchback, this is what I was mentioning. With the hatchback, it looks like a coupe. The vehicle does, you know, has 2 doors. It has this wedge shape. It looks awesome, and a lot of people would just look at it and be like, oh yeah, you know, it's one of those impractical coupes or whatever else. But you'd be surprised, and a lot of people have been surprised what you can fit in the back of this vehicle. So you come on here, pull towards you, and up, and then this reveals the trunk space. So it doesn't look like there's a lot of space, but trust me, there is a lot of space. You can fit, I've fit barbecues in the back of this when we've gone to the mountains and things like that. If you need even more room, all you have to do is pull this little tab towards you, push the seat down. Same on this side. And now you can fit almost anything you need. I could comfortably sleep in here if push came to shove. So that's another reason why these vehicles are so amazing and so practical. Coming around to the front, I have fired up the engine. This is what it looks like under the hood. Nothing you know, too exciting, no fancy engine bay covers or things like that. Now, one thing I do want to mention about this vehicle is if you are in the market for one of these, they do tend to rust over here on the rear wheel well area where it meets with the rear bumper. That is something that unfortunately a lot of Hondas of this era suffer from. And then on the roof here, you do get some rust bubbles and some rust as well. Nothing too crazy, nothing that's unexpected of a vehicle of this age, but if you are looking for one of these vehicles, that is something to keep in mind. Overall, this vehicle can basically do it all. You know, some people may complain that the vehicle feels gutless because it only has 142 pound-feet of torque, but this is definitely a vehicle that you want to rev out all the way to that red line. It will reward you every single time. It's so much fun, and if you've never driven one, I urge you to do so, especially if you're looking for you know, your first car or just a second fun car that you can kind of rip around. It's a 6-speed manual, I forgot to mention that. So when you have a 6-speed manual in a car that revs to 7,800 RPMs, you're in for a lot of fun. Gas mileage is actually not too bad on the vehicle as well. You get about 10 liters per 100 kilometers in the city and 7.6 liters per 100 kilometers on the highway. And if you're in the market for one of these vehicles, again, at this price point, I don't think there's many cars that can do what this car does. It offers so much in terms of ticking all the right boxes, and for the money, it is a great buy. Now, I hope this video did help you guys out. I hope this video added some value. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button. Let me know what your thoughts are on these vehicles. Do you like them? Do you not like them? Why? What you'd like to see next on the channel, please leave a comment down below. And if you enjoyed this and want to see more content, please subscribe for plenty of videos to come. Thank you so much, and have a great day.